I'm Robyn Crane, and this is the Growing Your Financial Business the Woman's Way podcast. Listen, I was a financial advisor for over a decade, and I got so sick of the old archaic strategies that your grandpa used to get clients. What the industry teaches today is still so outdated and just doesn't work anymore. So I had to find a better way for myself, and then I got obsessed with sharing these how-tos with other women like me. The stuff I teach doesn't require giving up your life, your sanity, or your family time. I want women like you to have it easier than I had it, so you can thrive in the industry. I've now helped thousands of women grow their financial businesses to multiple six figures, some even seven figures per year. So on this podcast, you're going to get an inside look at how they did it so you can do it too. Let's dive into the show. Welcome back. I'm here with Christina Woods. And actually, I'm looking at her picture online and she looks a lot like Rashida Jones. So if you want to picture her, have you ever heard that? That's what I want.
I have heard that, not in a while though.
Less in person, you got your glasses on right now, but like totally with that picture on your bio, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like interviewing Rashida Jones. So if you're not funny, you're out. No, I like her. I'm so excited I remembered her name. That was cool. So I almost said Rashida Jones. No, Christina Woods is a licensed rapid transformational therapist, clinical hypnotherapist, empowerment coach, and Reiki master. And she combines her background in corporate leadership along with her life experiences in dealing with trauma and abandonment to empower other women to trust their intuition and set themselves free of self-doubt. So, I'm curious because I had to read that slowly so I didn't mess up, but is that like, did you have trauma yourself or you just got into helping people with trauma?
No, I had some, I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, put it that way. But I definitely
tell us about it, or do you not like to share that?
No, I'm fine with sharing it. So
I like to go deep, fast. Tell us all the about the shadows. I'll be happy to share mine if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty open book. In fact, I share quite a bit about my story, and then even the hypnotherapy I do, we call it FU therapy. So we get real deep. So yeah, we get real deep. But
okay, that's cool. I might need some FU therapy. Sounds awesome.
I like many people. I was raised by a single mom. I'm the oldest of four, and there's no trauma in that, but I definitely had some emotional abuse. I had sexual abuse. I had a father that wasn't around. And what I did with that, which is not so uncommon either, was I created this little perfectionist straight A student who put a little shell around her and didn't want anybody to know what was going on. And so the outside, I look like, hey, I'm doing great. Went to college, got married, picket fence, great corporate career for 30 years, VP, traveled around, managed people across the country, had 2 kids, just burnt myself, at both ends, running through airports in high heels to the soccer game, doing everything until I realized, okay, wait, there's some stuff in there I haven't dealt with. And it starts coming out bigger and hairier, the more you keep stuffing it down. And it showed up in, charging up the credit cards, health issues. Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep saying that? Why do I keep feeling that? And my marriage fell apart. I decided I couldn't handle one more minute of the toxic corporate world that I lived in. And I just had to reassess everything and dig deep and find out what the heck do I want to do with myself.
So thank you for sharing that. Did you go directly to like a traditional therapist and you start talking about it and sitting on the couch? I mean, I know people don't really sit on the couch anymore, maybe, but, or lie down on the couch, or did you find more like hypnotherapy and this type of thing that you're doing now early on?
No, I tried the traditional, didn't work out so well. The talk didn't work out. I did EMDR. It worked as well a little bit. And, I don't think anyone goes to hypnotherapy first, to be honest. I know most people that have come to me have tried a few things. And I had always been very spiritual, really into personal development. And it was sort of like this little side thing I had. And, we do that. We get into things and then we don't apply them to us sometimes. I've read a lot of books, went to seminars, spiritual retreats, all these things. So I danced in that playground, but I still wasn't going deep. So I finally thought, okay, I need to go deep. And someone did recommend hypnotherapy, and I went, and I did it. And I thought, oh my goodness, I just opened up Pandora's box. There's some stuff I got to deal with. And I started to make profound, quick changes. I still didn't plan on being a hypnotherapist. I knew I wanted to help women. And I had all this corporate and sales and marketing background. I wanted to mix it in with some feel-good stuff. And found the type of hypnotherapy that I do. And I thought that is precise, clear, natural, simple way to get down and dirty to what's going on, change it quick. And, it's sort of my personality. It's like, all right, I know how to put on a mask and put on some high heels and pretend everything's okay. And I think
I can put on the high heels, but walking in them is a whole other story.
I don't do that well either anymore.
Definitely couldn't run in the airport. No, and definitely would never go to my kid's soccer game in high heels. I'm not much of a high heels fan. But so let me go back a step. So you said you tried EMDR, which I'm sure most listening don't know what that is, but I've actually done a little bit of EMDR myself. Tell us a little about EMDR. I know it's like just a little bit, just so they understand what we're talking about. Yeah,
it's it's this eye movement therapy where you help process emotions and rewire and desensitize emotions and trauma. And
so in my experience of it, it's really weird. And so is NLP to some degree, where like you look at a light or a finger going back and forth, and that's where the eye movement's coming in. Right. And then they're like, stop or something. And then it's like, what did you see? Or what's this memory? Or how old were you? And you're like, I don't know. And they're like, just tell me what you think you do know. And you're like, I'm 6 weeks old. And you're like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in my mom's lap. I'm looking at her breast, about to suck her, okay, that sounds horrible, but literally I had I did that, I think with NLP, but I had this vision and I'm like thinking in my head, this is all BS. This didn't really happen. And she's like, what do you feel? And I'm like, oh, I feel angry at my mom or something and I think I'm making up the entire thing. And I've done that even with going back with past, what is past lives? And I say it in this very, very skeptical way, because I'm actually not that skeptical about it, but it just seems so weird that I don't believe it, but I believe it enough to do it, to know that I think it will work, And so, but it's one of these things where I'm like, I just don't think that's a real memory, but maybe it is, and who cares? Because if it works, I don't really care what's real and what's not. But yeah, so hypnotherapy, is that quite different? Because I guess my experience with hypnotherapy kind of reminds me, everyone knows about, has their experience or their thought of what they see as hypnosis. You are getting sleepy, which I don't think it is. But I know with some exposure to Tony Robbins, he kind of gets you in some sort of hypnosis, right? Mm-hmm. And so how would you describe hypnotherapy? And also maybe I can be a guinea pig and be you can give us an example.
Sure.
So it can help them so they can use it on themselves or figure out a way to shift their mindset so they can get bigger results in their business.
Yeah. Even when I started doing this, my own son was, oh my gosh, Mom, you're like the guy at the fair now. And no. There is, hypnosis for entertainment purposes. And I have respect for that too, because actually that's pretty hard to quickly identify the people that will go into hypnosis really quickly. But it's a natural state. We go into hypnosis every day, all day. I mean, we've all driven home from somewhere, got in the driveway and don't remember if we stopped at the light, if we turned right or left. We just on robot automatic did it. Or you're doing the dishes, somebody's talking to you and your mind is elsewhere at the office doing something. And so those little quote unquote daydream moments were actually in a theta or delta brainwave. So hypnosis, it's being in hypnosis is just putting your mind in these different brainwaves. And so it's just a quicker way of doing it than waiting until you decide to drift off into Never Never Land. And it's accessing, we think we are so in control of how we feel and what we think and what we believe, but 95% of how we feel about ourselves and the world is in our subconscious mind. So it is absolutely running the show. So like, even when you said, I don't know if it's a memory or not, it even doesn't matter, because it's, it's how do we feel in our subconscious mind? It's things we're not even aware of. We don't even know what we don't know. And yet consciously, we think, okay, yeah, I know that happened to me. I know that sucked. I know that was hard. So I know that must be why it's hard for me to do this now. But what we don't know are the beliefs that were formed around it. And that's the part where going even deeper in your subconscious really can help you just dig it out. It's just like a garden. Like, yeah, we can chop everything off the top, but the stuff's just going to grow back. We need to go back in. And that's kind of how I describe the hypnotherapy I do.
Okay, that's awesome. So does that mean like you take something that's subconscious and you bring it to a conscious level, or is it actually that it's subconscious, you might be able to have it work for you at a subconscious level?
You bring it, you do kind of both, but you bring it to a conscious level, but we want to make it subconscious. Absolutely. Because you don't want to have to think about feeling good enough. You don't want to have to decide, okay, right now I want to feel good enough. You want to just feel good enough. You want it to just become who you are. And so we rewire, we upgrade your beliefs in your subconscious mind. So it just is who you are. It's the decisions you make. It's how you feel. It's the people you date. It's how you spend your money. It's how you go about your day and make decisions. But at first, we have to make those things conscious. You have to be aware of them.
And were you aware of like what happened to you? It wasn't like you blocked things off, like that you knew it happened to you, but you just thought it wasn't affecting you at a conscious level, or you didn't remember things?
I didn't remember a lot of it. I had blocked it out for a very long time. And, I thought, well, that's no big deal. I'm one of those people it didn't really bother. And, too bad. I see how it bothers other people. It just didn't really impact me.
Because you're just action taker. Interestingly enough, like I did not have any what they call big T trauma. Like but then I realized recently doing coaching and therapy myself, like I'm just trying to be better, get better, always get to, the next level and hold myself to a higher standard. And I believe in all this stuff. And I see the things holding me back. And sometimes I am less aware of it. And sometimes I'm more aware of it. Like I realized I was experiencing a lot of anxiety that like, I just would not call anxiety. Like I don't think of myself as an anxious person, and I didn't think of myself as a stressed person. And then like people would say that I was stressed and high strung. And I was like, what? Like really? Cause like similar, I just go. And so like, and I'm very passionate about what I do, and I'm excited about what I do. And so when I get stressed, I get affected and I don't like it and I'm frustrated, or I'm anxious or whatever. And then I kind of use that. And I have used that as fuel to drive me. And then what I've realized recently, I said this in a recent podcast as well, is that like everybody says what got you here won't get you there. And I'm very aware of that right now, that like I need to change to go like a big next level up. And the main thing that got me here, which was not feeling like I'm smart enough. So had a similar result as you, got straight A's because I felt like I was stupid, and working hard and trying to prove myself all the time because I didn't think I was worthy, and getting stressed and then getting results, and working my ass up and getting results, and all the things that got me here to where I can, get to a very successful level. It's like my next level. It's like, I got to do the opposite. Like I got to not let things stress me out and bother me to get to the next level. I got to like not react. I got to go within instead of always looking external to have someone solve my problem. So I'm aware of it consciously now. It doesn't mean I don't run the patterns though. Right. And so I'm really interested in like, well, how do you make, cause you said, to me before, like the goal, bless you, or cough, bless you. The goal is like, I'm aware of it. And they always say awareness is the first step. So, but then how do we make it work? Like, how do I make it work for me? How do the listeners right here can say like, yeah, we all experience, and it's literally no matter what, like who you meet, no matter how successful they are. Now I know, because I've met extremely successful people. It's like, they still don't feel worthy. They still don't feel like they're enough. They still don't feel like they're loved. In different situations, it's different, but it's like, I remember meeting this woman in this mastermind I'm in called the Unicorn Club. And
her company's worth 150 million and she didn't think she belonged in the room, and I was like, oh, I only make $1 million a year. Like, and I'm the dumbest person in the room. Right. And we all have it. And it's like, so we can be aware of it. But I think most people kind of think, yeah, but it's different. Like that person, must feel confident. Like, it's like, we forget everybody is still human.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have to know. And so yes, being conscious of it, but what are we linking to success? So let's just use that example. What we're talking about is success. So like you work hard, stay focused, keep going. Well, now it's like, okay, well, what if I want to actually not work 80 hours a week or what, or back it off a little bit. And consciously I can actually still be successful and turn things more automatic or whatever, and travel and do things. But if we're hardwired and we've linked together success, we've linked together a formula in our subconscious mind of what success is, it won't accept any other formula until we. So
does that mean like it won't get you the result, or it's like you just can't, like if it's, I guess what I'm asking, because again, I'm selfishly asking, like, heal me. But that, like, and I've mentioned this openly, that this year has been our hardest year. I mean, way more difficult than 2020. Like, it's just been more difficult than when I had my first baby. I mean, it's just been our hardest year so far. And we've had, it's a very, very low point. And then, kind of had a high point. Oh yeah, we're back. Oh, back to a low point, and it's like, and I've had this awareness for a while now where I'm like, first of all, I know that in order for my business to change, I need to change. And so even a year ago, like I hired a prosperity coach to help me so I can focus on me and get rid of the anxiety and not being as stressed. And like, I've made a lot of progress. I'm very proud of the progress, but I'm wondering, because I'm like where I am right now in exactly today of like, not everything is going my way exactly the way I want it. So are there still these links in my mind that are, even though I'm acting differently and shifting that if it's still linked like that and hardwired like that still it's not going to produce the result. Do you know what I mean? Or is that just a weird question?
No, that's the question. It's the question to ask, because
I feel smart when you say that.
Yeah, because you're right. Consciously, we could even say like, yeah, I know I became the A student because XYZ. I know. Consciously doesn't make us change anything. Subconsciously, when you really want to change how we feel and change the patterns, we've got to go in and subconsciously change the beliefs. So consciously changing the beliefs isn't going to be enough. It's kind of like how lottery winners end up losing all their money within a few years because money doesn't solve the problem. They still have the belief they're not good enough. So therefore,
so let's do me. Let's do me.
Yeah.
We got 10 minutes. I don't know. But also, I mean, as much as selfishly I want to do it, but also I think it's very cerebral. We're in the conscious mind right now, right? Saying like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. I got to shift it, but how do we do it? So can you give us an example and use me as a guinea pig?
Yeah, we can do a little quick thing here. So you can even just close your eyes, and I want you to imagine kind of like looking at like a movie of your life. And so I want you to just look at this movie of your life. And this movie is just kind of rewinding, and it's going backwards, like you're being pulled back into a time tunnel. And you're just moving backwards and backwards and backwards and even further back. And then all of a sudden that movie is stopping, as if you were going even more backwards, and it suddenly stopped. And you're standing outside the home, your childhood home, and you are somewhere between the ages of 3 and 15 years old. If you lived in more than one home, your genius mind knows exactly which home you're standing in front of. And you're standing in front of, and you're just kind of drawn like a missile, like a laser, right to the bedroom that you slept in as a child. And there you are in that room, and you know that you are that child in that room, and they know that you are you. And so the two of you have this complete connection, a really strong affinity for one another, a really strong connection in terms of, I get you, you get me. And I want you to ask that child one question. Why do you feel, or why do you believe you can't have this smooth, easy, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. Can't have the wealth and the abundance and the smoothness and the ease of life. Who told you that? Why? And the first thing that comes to you.
Well, you said who told me that. I thought on my dad, but I don't know what.
Okay. And without even thinking, just kind of sit on the edge of that bed and just kind of put your hand on the knee of that child. Like, hey, why do you believe that? Why do you believe it's hard to have all these moving pieces moving together smoothly and easily, have our business grow, have my life, my children, everything kind of flow and grow and ease?
I mean, what comes to me is like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough. Gosh darn it, people don't like me. No, I'm kidding now. But that's what came to mind. Not good enough.
And where did you get this from? Just ask the little child, where did you get this from? You said dad, and who else, or when, or why?
Oh, it's hard. It's so hard for me because I have told a story so many times that like I have a belief around it that I don't know if I've brought it to the conscious mind too much. Because part of my whole story about feeling stupid is that I wanted to be in the gifted program. Mm-hmm. And so I went to do the oral exam, and they asked me some questions. And when I went home to my mom, she's like, what did they ask you? And because I was like, I don't think I got it. And one of those things was, what's a tripod? They're like, what's a tripod? I'm like, I don't know. And I came home to my mom, and she's like, I'm like, I didn't know what a tripod was. And she's like, tripod, Robyn, 3, tripod, come on. Like, it was just like, she could have said, you're so stupid. And that was my interpretation.
That was what you attached to it.
Yeah. And so I tell that story a lot, like, because I know I made like a choice right there to like, okay, I'm dumb and I'm stupid. But it probably happened before that. Realistically, because I know my mom runs patterns of that. Yeah. And then, multiple memories of my dad, like making me feel stupid, or I can't say he made me, I made myself feel stupid because of what he said, but essentially feeling stupid.
So what we would do is we would go in and find out all those little stories, and then we would upgrade the child, and we'd say, so I would ask you to like, take that child actually and walk you through where you live now, and say, go ahead and go take that child to where you live now and show them you have Apple TV, you have this, you have that. You show them all that, show them your business, show them what you're doing, show them all the workshops you've given, show them pictures and the books you've written, and show them all these things that you've done. You literally have to upgrade them, because these parts of us stay stuck, and our beliefs don't know how old we are. Our subconscious doesn't even care how old we are. If it's right or wrong or true or false, it could give a shit. So we literally just have to upgrade it. And so by taking them and say, come with me, you're going to come and live with me now, showing them all of those things, and kind of even asking, like, what do you think about all these things that I've done? And then saying to her, I know you've heard inner child work and stuff, but showing them like, you live here now. You get to live here now. This is you don't have to go to another, try to get into another gifted program. We're going to upgrade these beliefs now. I'm your loving parent now. Look at, they have this thing called spell check now. We don't ever have to spell the word tripod. So we do this thing over and over and over, and there's different methods, but you have to upgrade the beliefs, because we just get our beliefs stay stuck. So we find out where they are stuck, and then upgrade them. And we interrupt them and we upgrade them over and over and over, because our thoughts are like a blueprint, and you lay down the blueprint, just like when you're going to go build a house, and your thoughts and then your actions in your life just follow the little blueprint of your thoughts. And you're like, well, wait, I'm not 9 anymore. And that one little fragment, and, there's parts of us that also, when we're busy and we're successful, we almost feel like I don't really have time to sit down and be compassionate for this little part of me that misspelled that word, love and compassion. But that's sort of what we need to do. We need to slow down and have love and compassion for these parts that felt inadequate and not good enough. And they're going to get louder and louder and louder until we do. Have love.
And is it really you have to go back to like a previous version of yourself in order to bring that upgrade it, you're saying? Like, it's not like I can just keep thinking these amazing thoughts. You're worthy, Robyn today, you're worthy, you're amazing. Like, cause I can be grateful every day about what I have and like my amazing life. And that helps, when I'm stressed or whatever is like, just that gratitude and appreciation. And like, and it does help to think, like, I heard it recently, just a reminder of, think about everything. I think Keith Cunningham said it is like everything you used to want that you now have that you once thought was impossible. And like, it's just, I obviously butchered it, but like just how incredible it is, because had I looked at, a version of myself 10 years ago to see what I have now, I would have been like, damn, nice. Like, I don't have anything to worry about. And I know that that's the conscious part that I'm like, I think the same thing's going to happen in 3 years. Same thing's going to happen in 10 years. I'm going to be like, holy crap. Like, I kind of can't believe it, but I kind of can, because I knew it. I envisioned it and I knew it was going to happen. But at the same time, it's like, why did I have to worry about it? And I've done some meditations. I did meditation. I had one of my FEM events just about a month ago. And it was like this breathing exercise, which was like really weird, like breathing with big open mouth, like, like you're like, please, let's make sure everybody's not looking at me, but like really, like, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is in my body. And by the end of this, it was like an hour long. And I had my whole group do it.
It was really amazing. Powerful,
but it's so powerful. Like, I love breath work, but at the end you're like, oh my God, like I was so much gratitude and, felt so connected to God and like, just like, and I'm not like super religious or anything, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like nothing matters, nothing matters. Like what's not working, all the stuff that's like, when I think there's a challenge with, whether it's filling an event or whatever, it's like, none of that matters. None of that matters, because it's all just learning and it's all on the path. And like, eventually it's just getting us exactly where we need to be. And if it's not working, it's perfect, because that's what gets it working. Like, so like consciously I can do that. But that breath work got me subconscious, I guess, about it. Like, to be like, oh my God, like it's so amazing. Like, anytime I'm worried about money or business or whatever, it's like, that's just like, you're already going to be there. So who cares, and
that's right.
It's amazing, but it's hard to get there in the moment sometimes, but it definitely
it is. And you're right. Affirmations are great. Saying the words we say to ourselves are so powerful, but if you want long lasting change, we got to go deep to the issue. And it doesn't mean we have to hang out there forever on a couch every Friday at 3:00 and talk about it and cry about it, because, just like so many things that have changed, therapy's changed. And this kind of therapy that, there's not just what I do, but there are other modalities as well that are fast and change and effective and get to the root of things. And breath work is another one of them. That 10 years ago, nobody was really talking about that. So, we want things that are fast. And so we do, that's great. But what are we linking to pleasure? Your mind will always move towards pleasure and away from pain. If it thinks relaxing and getting too comfortable is not cool and not going to make you successful, it's not going to move you toward it. It's going to move you towards, quote unquote, what do you link to pleasure? Hustle, or making sure you never feel stupid, or, what does it link to pleasure? And we really have to be mindful of that and vulnerable when we're going through that process to find out, because again, a mind doesn't care if it's true or not, and it's going to move you away from pain. Stay far away from that, Robyn. We don't want you to go anywhere near that pain. And we're going to link it to pleasure, and it's going to find evidence to enforce that that's the best route for you every minute throughout your entire day. So we feel that we're on the right path for it, even if it's even if it's preventing us from the life that we want.
Awesome. Love it. Well, so good. It's so good. So we'll tell them where to find you. And, if they want your help and check you out on social and all that stuff, we'll also put it in the show notes, but tell them how to find you. This has been really awesome.
Yeah. My website is wisewoods.com, and I have a free hypno meditation on there and some other good things. Free.wisewoods.com. You can get on there, and I offer a free hour actually for people to meet with me and explore, because I think hypnotherapy is one of those things people get kind of freaked out about and might have some questions. Nice. So,
that's great. Well, take advantage of that. That's amazing. Also, not to make this about me, but if you are curious about some stories, I was just looking back to see what can I tell you to listen to. And episode 100 was kind of fun. And that's, if you like the vulnerability and going deep and noticing like that, okay, behind every success story is always the challenges and struggles. You can go to episode 100 from December 14th in 2022 to hear actually someone interviewing me on my podcast, Lisa Chastain, and hear the real stories behind my success. Again, it feels weird to do that because I think nobody cares. But then I also listen to podcasts and I'm like, I want to know more about you, and also the vulnerable stuff. So the vulnerable stuff is in there. It might be interesting. And let us know if you have any suggestions for guests or podcast ideas or more solo episodes or more guests. We just like to hear from you. So you can send us a message at support@robyncrane.com. And don't forget to give us a review, because I never ask. And I'm asking now, give us a review, because we need them. I think that's probably important for some things. Anyway, thanks again, Christina. And we'll see you all next time on Growing Your Financial Business the Woman's Way. Bye.